Hi everyone, Stephanie aka French Nygma for Last Word on Pro Wrestling and FreeW Wrestling. Another interview. It's always a pleasure, and this time we welcome the white child, Jody Threat. How are you, Jody?
I'm good. Can you tell me how do I say wild child in French?
L'enfant terrible.
Oh, okay. Making note.
L'enfant terrible. Et,
Doesn't
yeah, that's more or less that.
it doesn't roll off the tongue quite like wild child.
Yeah, but you can say wild about someone a bit savage, and wild
Yes.
understands fierce.
Right.
So that's why it can be enfant terrible ou enfant sauvage.
Right.
It was the
Love
French
it.
lesson of the day. Hello, everybody. When I prepared this interview, I've learned a lot of things, and I have a lot of questions because I was really, wow, great. But I want to start the beginning. Um, you appeared twice at Bound For Glory. You supported Gia Miller, who did a great job in the ring, and you were attacked by Frankie Kazarian, who stole your spot in the Call Your Shot Gauntlet.
Outrageous.
Uh,
Outrageous.
what can you tell me about supporting Gia and at the same time uh, missing the spot? Because Frankie Kazarian did something bad after all.
Two very separate emotions. I was so happy to be in Gia's corner. She's my friend. It was her moment to get revenge, to payback on Tessa, and obviously didn't go as we wanted it to, but it was just such a very cool moment to be able to be there with her as she experienced it. And I will always be in her corner, and if we have to go back to war with those girls, we're gonna have to do that, and that's fine. Fast forward to literally the next match, which was the gauntlet. My name got called. I was hot and ready to go. And Frankie just popped out of nowhere. I did not see him coming and just blasted my head off. All I'm gonna say is that I was never eliminated. So I don't know who I need to talk to about this, but I was never eliminated.
Never
Outrageous,
really.
though.
Can we imagine
Outrageous.
us a turning point is coming next week on TNA Plus, November 14, and there will be final resolution December 5 or TNA Plus 2. Can we imagine, because there's two stories. You can still be working with Gia against Victoria Crawford and Tessa Blanchard, but at the same time, you can also say, hey, I won. I may be the one who won the call the shot, call your shot.
Hmm.
And there are two now, which is
Right.
so. What do you expect for the coming events?
I go into these things not expecting anything, but just making sure that I'm prepared for whatever comes my way. Um, what I can expect, I guess, is for everyone to be on and ready to go because this is the home stretch until the end of the year. And it's been a very successful year for us at TNA with just, our crowds getting bigger and louder, bigger and louder. And, that makes us work even more hard. We're always been and always will be a hardworking locker room. But I think that because our hard work is being paid off with the amount of love that we're receiving back, we're just going to work harder and harder. So what I can expect is hard hitting match. What I can expect is people coming and bringing the best that they have. What I can expect for me personally, like I said, I go in not expecting anything, but being prepared, and I am prepared.
Yeah, Bound For Glory was I did it live, and the reactions from the crowd and the way you were all the roster, everyone was so into it, and so it was a magic moment.
Yeah,
And
the energy, unmatchable. Like we have the energy that we have in our crowds is always great, and I always love it. But like I just feel like there was very much something special that night, and I don't know if it was like the added bodies or being able to reach the goals that we wanted to, which was to bring in the most people that we could. But that energy was electrifying, and for me, the best energy I've experienced this far on my journey with TNA.
I've been writing on this company for 7 years and a half, something like that, if it's not 8. So yeah, I've always supported this company because I knew, I've always known,
Yeah.
and so I'm proud to support it.
I love
Um,
that.
Super proud. I was very when I look at made some researches. I realized that you started wrestling very late, in fact. Usually the guys or the girls are like, I want to be a wrestler. I think about Leon Slater, who started like very, very young, or Jordan Grace, who started at 11 or 14. You
Yeah.
start way later than that. And you even
Hmm.
said, I was not watching wrestling as a kid. And I was like, what? And how, how did we come that late uh, in that business?
Yeah. Um, I think it was one of those situations where the universe realized that I was meant to find it. As you mentioned, I was not a big wrestling fan growing up. Of course, I grew up in like the Attitude Era, so like those key players were sort of mentioned, and I remember being on the playground during recess and being like, "You're China," and I'm like, "I don't know what that means." And like, "You're just gonna fight us and beat us up," and I was like, "Okay." So, that was like the extent of like my wrestling knowledge growing up. And it wasn't until as an adult, I think I was like 28, I was out on a night on the town in Toronto, and I walked into an indie promotion where I realized that my calling was actually wrestling. I was like in a full-blown other career, like university educated, or like, like an adult, like a full functioning adult with a pretty good life. And wrestling just came out of right field and smoked me in the head. And I said, oh, this is actually what I'm supposed to be doing. And even how I found my original wrestling school, it was like, how do I do this? And I bumped into like a pillar, and I turned around and there was like a flyer, like, want to be a pro wrestler. So it was like, it was almost like the universe just said, you must do this or you're not going to be on the right path.
But what were you expecting to be before before wrestling? Or you were expecting to have like, I would say, normal life? Well, to have a normal job and a normal um
Sure. Um,
in,
my like work, which I still am involved in, is like community development, youth engagement. My degrees are in criminology and children's studies. So I was a youth outreach worker, and I was just transitioning into a position where I would be able to work with families, so a more holistic approach. And for me, that was very fulfilling. And like I said, I still have that as a part of my life because it is something I'm meant to do. In my head, what I anticipated would happen would be that I would go on to get a master's degree, which I might still do down the road, and to enter into like more of the scholarly world of that. That's what I assumed. And I knew that it would be an interesting life that I led, and it would be probably through like lecturing and teaching and writing and learning about just sort of sociology and really developing communities and what communities mean to people. Um, but now we're an entertainer, which I feel like I am developing communities in different ways.
absolutely. Uh, you're still working and wrestling, so
Oh yeah.
a bit like Josh Alexander, who trained you, did because he stopped. He became a full-time wrestler very, very late. It must be interesting to. study communities and come in wrestling and be in a locker room and being like, interesting.
Yep, 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 yep.
You have had many, many chances, though. So you signed in 2023. It's the end of your third year with the company. You had a lot of chances to go for the TNA Knockouts Championship. But when are you going to be the champion? Is it the goal?
It is absolutely the goal. It is absolutely the goal. And for me, reflecting back on this contract I've had the last 3 years, I think that I was not ready. Um, I think that I came up in the indies, which is different than what you're seeing on TV. And it has admittedly taken me a minute to get my feet under me on TV. But I think that in the last 6 months, something has switched in me. And I'm feeling more comfortable, confident in my own skin while I'm wrestling for TNA. And I think that 2026 will be my year. I am ready and I'm doing the things that I need to do outside the ring. But what I was missing was that confidence in the ring for TNA. And I think that I've found it. I know that I've found it. So I think 2026 will be a big year for myself personally.
Yeah. And I feel like we saw that on TV, that you were getting more and more your, for yourself.
Hmm.
And also you had, in some ways, a fantastic 2024 because being two-time Knockouts Tag Team champions with Dani, and
Hmm.
also being the Tag Team of the Year, which is a huge honor.
Yes.
Um, do you, I will say, do you regret that time with Dani? Do you imagine yourself being with someone else in another tag team?
I could not imagine myself being with anyone else in a tag team. Dani Luna, even before we started tagging, met like was one of my best friends. And even with being a tag team, I think it's like really strengthened our relationship. And although we are now separated, and she's acting a different sort of way these days. I think she's just cranky and hungry. I hope she comes back around. I do not regret anything. I think that being with her helped me get comfortable with TV wrestling. She came, with experience with the WWE, like UK, NXT UK stuff. So she's had some of that TV experience. And I think that by putting us in a team together, it actually was quite helpful for me to learn. Like she helped guide me in a lot of ways. And I think that yeah, there's no regret there. We've done a lot of good things together, and I hope that down the road maybe we can get back together once she sorts her attitude out. But I think it's also important for us to be able to run as singles wrestlers. Dani Luna is one of the best wrestlers in the world, and I think the world doesn't realize that yet. And I think for her, this run, hopefully 2026, this is where people realize how sick she is. And for me, it's going to allow me to spread my wings. And like I said, I have my confidence now. And yeah, people are going to see what I'm capable of too.
Yeah, like I said, she's completely unhinged now. And
I hope she's just hungry. I'm hoping she just needs a snack. I don't know what she needs. She just needs to find herself.
we'll see
It's not
that
like her.
next week because
Yeah.
well, I don't know what this open fight night is about. We'll see that later at two
Hmm.
o'clock in the morning French time.
Oh yeah, big time difference. I completely forgot.
Yes, it's not the most enjoyable thing, but thanks to TNA Plus, I can watch in the morning when I wake up.
Exactly. The app is a very good tool.
You said when you came to TNA Wrestling, your dream opponent was Diona Perazzo. You had the match, Diona left. Who is the dream opponent now?
It's a good question.
Oh,
Um, I think I've had some sort of dabblings with pretty much everyone on the roster. So I can't define like a dream opponent per se on the roster, but I would love to have um time with certain people, if that makes sense. Like I like, let us like build towards something with a few people. I personally, like going back to Dani Luna, we have so much unfinished business, and I think that right now I would like to focus on dealing with that and wrapping up that business, and then for me from there, my eyes will go towards the gold, because at the end of the day, that's what we're here for. It's to win, right? I need to win that women's knockout championship. And so once I'm done wrapping up my other business, whoever has that belt, that's where my eyes are focused and who I would like to run with.
And that was my last question. If it's not TNA, it may be someone in NXT.
Well, I already know who I want to wrestle in NXT. It's Jordan Grace. We shared a locker room together and we did not get that opportunity. And so 100% it's Jordan Grace.
100%. It was a fantastic interview. Thank you so
Awesome.
much, Jody. We see you. I don't know if we're going to see you tonight on
You have to
Impact,
tune in
but
and find
also
out.
we'll see you at Impact Live in Orlando and Turning Point. And thank you so much. Wish you the best. And
Thank you.
see you soon.